This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
So for those of you who support Anthony Joshua and of course want him to retain his unified heavyweight world titles against Alexander Usyk next month, well, you're going to be pleased with what Anthony Joshua has to say in regards to his weight. And of course, a boxing purist will as well, who like to study the styles of certain fighters, is what Anthony Joshua had to say. I'm looking trim for this fight. I'm fighting a guy who's a 12-round fighter, so it would be silly of me to go in there bulky with my muscles screaming for oxygen. It's a fight for the brain, knowing what you've got in front of you and knowing how to deal with it. Anthony Joshua's statement. Now, he spoke to Sky Sports when he said that. Now, we've seen Anthony Joshua before, where he's bulked up in fights and he has gassed before because he's been a little too heavy. For example, Vladimir Klitschko. He punched himself out, didn't he, in round number 5. Now, with Anthony Joshua, each and every time he fights, he's making these adjustments. He's pretty much now fully aware of what it is that he has to do before each fight now. I'm not saying that he never really did beforehand, but now he really puts it into practice. So he's not just going to go in there thinking, I'm just going to blast him out. Alexander Usyk, yes, he is a 12-round fighter, but of course he is a heavy-handed fighter as well at the best of times, or at least can be. And he does make opponents pay down the stretch if they start to show some weakness and fatigue. Most importantly, tiredness. We've seen that with Tony Bellew. Although he didn't really do it with Derek Chisora so much. I think that Derek Chisora, he was definitely lagging in the last few rounds of that fight, and Usyk didn't really make him pay, but normally he would. Now, with Anthony Joshua coming in trimmer, that means he's going to be moving. He's going to have to win this fight using his feet and size, as in the reach advantage. That's what he's going to have to do. Win the fight on the jab. If Usyk makes a mistake, make him pay. If Usyk starts to tire, make him pay. Because again, how much is Usyk going to weigh in this fight as well? Maybe he's going to come in a little bit trimmer. Maybe he wants to get back to borderline cruiserweight, knowing he can go 12 rounds. If he bulks up a bit himself, he may actually start to fatigue because he's not used to fighting with that kind of duress on his muscles or on his legs or however it may be. So it's going to be a fight of strategy, I think, this fight. For me, I think he's got 12 rounds written all over it. I know many of you feel that Anthony Joshua will probably stop him at some point in this fight. And who knows, maybe you're right. And a lot of you, of course, really want Alexander Usyk to win. And if you're a Brit, I don't really understand that point. But hey, haters will be haters. But the thing is, with Alexander Usyk, he's such a skillful fighter. The only way to beat Alexander Usyk, in my opinion, because we've seen Marius Bradis come the closest, really. And I thought Marius Bradis, arguably, I wouldn't have argued had they have given Marius Bradis that win, which is he put it on Usyk. From the opening bell, he put it on Usyk. He was the aggressor. And when he was pushed onto the back foot, he would still let his hands go. And he wasn't always looking for the knockout. He was looking to hurt Usyk. That's all he was trying to do, hurt him. Not knock him out, but hurt him. Because that way, Usyk is then re-strategizing what it is that he's got to do. Marius Bradis pretty much had Usyk, or pretty much drew up the blueprint of what you have to do to beat Alexander Usyk, in my opinion. But of course, that was a few years ago, and Usyk is a fighter who will prepare and diligently prepare as well for whatever fighter he's got coming up next. The crowd, the very pro crowd of Anthony Joshua, won't bother him. He's used to traveling abroad. He's used to winning belts on foreign territory. So this is going to be nothing new for Usyk. In fact, Usyk, he got the gold at the 2012 Olympics at the heavyweight. Joshua got the gold at super heavyweight. So both of these guys, they can box. We've seen Joshua do it before when he fought Andy Ruiz Jr. People say that he ran away. That's madness. He didn't run away. He won the fight. That's what he's supposed to do. When he fought Kubrat Pulev, he was doing quite similar, where he was using the jab, he was finding his range, he was using his feet, and when it was time to put his foot on the gas and unload a few uppercuts and long-range shots, that's what he would do. Because for Joshua, he's got it in his advantage to fight long range. What he doesn't want to do is fight on the inside too much with Usyk. He's a bit shorter. He's not that much shorter. I don't know why people seem to think that Usyk is such a little guy. He ain't a little guy. He's only, 2 inches, maybe 3 inches shorter than Joshua. Statuesque, of course. Joshua, he's probably going to be about 20 pounds heavier. But the thing is with Usyk is that he's very, very explosive. He can be. He's got lightning fast hands, and his footwork is pretty much what wins a fight. He can get in and out of position and put his opponents into certain positions as well. So Joshua's going to have to be switched on in this fight. Really, really switched on. And losing some muscle mass for this fight as well, or at least retaining it, as in not bulking up for this fight, is exactly what it is that he needs to do. Is he playing a game here to maybe lull Usyk into thinking that Joshua's going to be fighting the way that he did with Andy Ruiz Jr. or the way that he did with Kubrat Pulev? But really, Joshua's just going to go in there and pretty much try and do what Derek Chisora done, which is just march forward and throw bombs at him. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, Anthony Joshua's statement. He's coming in trimmer for the Alexander Usyk fight. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all in the next video.